Hello, I'm Gary with Gabbin with Gary. I've been conducting interviews with the people of Ukraine all over the world. Some renowned authors, police officers, teachers, wives, lawyers, soldiers, and just everyday people. I've been conducting these interviews so that the struggles of the Ukrainian people are not forgotten now or in the future. Every Ukrainian deserves to have their story told. This is so dangerous for some, I can't even show you their faces as they worry about retribution to their family from Russian occupied areas. Those interviews, for safety reasons, are just podcasts. Please consider donating to my channel so that I can continue to bring you this content. Again, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you and be safe. Hello, I'm Gary with Gabbin with Gary, and we have the renowned author Katheryna with us, and she's going to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kate. I'm Ukrainian girl, and I'm in Austria now with my 3 children and my husband. Unfortunately, I had to leave my country because now it is war, but here I'm living in Austria. And about my job, so I'm a writer. I have written a book in England. It is called The Road from Kharkiv. And also I have 3 books in Ukraine. Also, I'm an English teacher. I have been teaching for 22 years. And I have a lot of other jobs and hobbies, such as I'm a photographer, a life coach, psychologist. So I'm like a jack of all trades, maybe. Yes,
That's awesome. No, it's very important.
A lot of things, yeah.
It sounds like you like to help a lot of people, being from a teacher's background.
Yes, it is my passion. And I remember the time when I had more than 80 students simultaneously. So individual classes, groups, yes. And my idea was not just to teach them English. My idea was to motivate them, to inspire them, to realize their dreams. Yes, it's what I like.
That's awesome. We were talking before we started our interview, and tell us a little bit before the, I don't know if you call it the war or is it just the losing of your land, but when in 2014, if you could tell us a little bit about Crimea.
Oh, Crimea, it is a painful question because I didn't like when it disappeared from our from possibility to go to this place, because before this, even I can't understand how it happened, because it was like Russian people, they decided that crime was theirs. So they came, they took, and now we can't go to Crimea with my children. We can't see my friends who are living there. So it is nonsense for me. I even can't comment it because I don't understand why they did it. What reasons they have for doing that. It was a very strange situation about Crimea. And also, the bad situation was not just 24th of February. I want to say that the war started in 2014 in Donetsk, when they came and they decided that Donetsk region is theirs, yeah, and they occupied Donetsk region. Why again? My parents, they live in Makeyevka, it is near Donetsk. And they are occupied now. And my grandmother, my grandfather, they brought me up. They are my parents, actually. And they died during this occupation. And I couldn't come to them. I didn't have possibility to see the last days of my beloved people in my life. Yes, so it was very sad. They were ill with coronavirus, and I couldn't come to them. They died, and I even didn't come to their funeral. So this, and my mother and my aunt, they're in Donetsk, no, in Makiivka actually, and I can't again come to them because it is occupied. So this period, it was very hard for me because I was pregnant at this period of time, and I remember my parents, they called me every day and they said, no, and it was bombing attack, yes, and they said, sorry, Kate, sorry for everything, forgive us, and goodbye forever. Let's imagine. And I was pregnant, and every day I had to listen to this information from them, and it was big stress, and I had problems with my pregnancy because of that. I was so afraid that Kharkiv also would be occupied at this period, 2014. I don't know, maybe it is a miracle, but Kharkiv wasn't occupied, and we were living like very happy Ukrainian people. Without Russian, we are very happy Ukrainian people. We were living, we were working. I had a very successful business. My school was big, 250 students studied in my school. Everything was fine. We bought a flat, we bought a cottage. So it was possible to realize any dreams in my place, in my country. And suddenly, 2020, on the 24th of February again. So they came to Ukraine and actually in Kharkiv. So it was very bad day. I suppose that we will never forget this day. Maybe even when I'm very, very old, 99, 100, I'm going to live under this age, sorry. I will remember about this day because it was like a trauma for me. We were sleeping, and at 5 o'clock it was explosion. My daughter shouted, crying. I remember, I even have a video. If you want, I can show you this video. We were sitting in the hall on the floor with all my children, and she was sitting and she was reading Psalm 90, and she was 7, or not 7, sorry. Oh, 7, yes, she was 7, now she's 8. She was 7, and she was crying, and she was reading this psalm a lot of times. It's not normal. It's not normal for this world to do that for children. And my son Lev, he was 1, and he was just shocked. He was crying and he was shocked because he couldn't understand why we were in this hall. It was very hard day, and we were living on the 9th floor, and we were living near the motorway, and on this motorway Russian tanks were going through every time, and we could see that. We could see explosions from our window, we could see these tanks, and we are where we have our house, it is the border with Russian territory. So it is very, very dangerous place for living because we were near Belgorod. If you know this, it is near this place. So as for this reason, we decided to go to our office. It is a bit closer to underground, and it is on the 1st floor. We decided that it was safer for us. Yeah, but we also saw the tanks. We also heard street attacks. So, and we were sitting like in tomb maybe, with closed windows. And we were waiting for some silence, but no, we couldn't hear silence. Every time it was bombing, attacking, and we were in this place for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't remember exactly, I should check. And it was very, very difficult period because I told you that we were near the border, and it was difficult to buy food. It was difficult to go out. It was difficult to get something, and etc. And we had hunger. We couldn't eat. No, so we had some food, but I remember when I wrote it in my book. I had 3 sandwiches, four or 5 sandwiches, so 1 sandwich for each person. And I went somewhere to take something, and when I came back, somebody ate my sandwich. And this sandwich was my dinner, my supper. Yes, and I was sad, and this, okay, everything is fine. And my son, Misha, he's 14, he said, no, mommy, I will give you part of my sandwich because it's very important for you. I want you to be alive. And it was what I call the real love. So he shows that he loved me. He wanted to eat, but he gave his food. It was like an example of love, humanity. Yes. Yeah, so we were sitting there without food, with hope, and listening to these bombs.
Were you downstairs with other people? Was it just your family?
No, we were just alone in our office. Office
Okay.
means my school's office.
Right.
Yes.
I was just making sure.
Yeah, it is where I was having business. So yes, everything. It was a big place. So we could, we slept on the chairs. So, and problem, maybe it was our mistake. Who know? Now I understand, maybe it was mistake that we went to this place because we wanted to be in safer place. But in this place, there were no food. In our flat, we had everything. We had a refrigerator, yes, we had some vegetables, but here, no, we had hunger because shops were almost empty and very long queues and these explosions. So it was very dangerous. Yeah. So, and I remember the day when I started my mission to save the cat. Our cat Tishka, he stayed in our flat. And I wanted to save him. It is my first reason. And the second reason, we need some food. And I remember that I had a very big backpack, and I was walking. It was winter and very cold. And I was trying to go through the roads. And these roads, I have told you about these roads, that it is the place where tanks every time are going. Yeah, and I went through across these roads and heading for my flat. And it was very dangerous. I brought my cat, I brought some food, but when I was going back, it was a situation when Russians were running around the territory, and everything was closed, even underground. And I tried to come back, but I couldn't. Everything was closed. And with this bag, with very heavy case with my cat, with possessions, I was trying to go, and military people, Ukrainian people, no, they were shouting, lie down, what are you doing? Oh my God. I tried to come into the underground, but it was closed. They were afraid of these Russian soldiers. And I was in like a mouse in traps, that where can I go? I can't come back. I can't come, so I can't go anywhere. With this cat, with my food, I was sitting and I was crying, praying, and suddenly one man came to me and he offered me some tea. And after that, he said, I can help you. where do you want to go? And I didn't know what to say, where, my home, but he couldn't go. And he helped me to reach one house. And I knocked on the door and people opened me. So just like this. And I was staying in this house for some period. And after that, I managed to come back to my family. But let's imagine what stress I had, my family had, my cat had, because he didn't understand what it was. He was just crying, and I was crying. And it's very interesting why I lost my voice when the war started. Maybe I was ill at this period. Maybe it was psychological problem, but I lost my voice. And I was in this situation and I couldn't explain anything. I didn't have voice for 2 weeks. Yes, it was awful. So this period in Kharkiv, while it was very severe attack, for us it was very, very hard. And the last maybe moment when I understood that it was too dangerous for my children, when planes started flying, and they were flying very near. So, and I could hear how they were flying near our house, above our house. And again, situation, all the planes were flying from
Belarus?
we are in near the border, and from Belgorod they were flying, and it was like casino. So they on our house, yes, and we will die, or maybe they will fly further. And every time we were sitting, we were listening to this plane. Sometimes there were more than 5 planes, let's imagine. And we were sitting and I was asking God, please, please, not this plane, maybe next.
Very scary.
Yes, it was scary, especially for my children. Every time I say, I love you to my children, to my husband, because maybe it is this plane decided to throw the bomb on our house. So who knows? It was casino. And after that, I will read in my telephone that the bomb was a little bit further, a little bit, not on our house, but a little bit. So it's stress. Yeah, and
very.
Yes, and we decided to go away from Kharkiv. It was a spontaneous decision. And you told me that you believe in God. And when it was a situation with these planes, I asked God what to do. And I remember the day, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. I opened my eyes and I shouted, Maxim, we should go today, now. Yes, and I believe that it was like God. He helped me to say this. And when we were moving, it was every day for 11 days, for 11 hours in the car, in queues, in very long queues. We were going, and with 3 children. Lev was shouting every time. But again, I didn't know where I could go. I just found places in internet, among my friends, and etc. And people gave me the shelter. Every time, miracle. They said, Kate, you can come. So we were in Poltava, Krapivnitsky, Ternopil, where else? A lot of different places. We stayed, and it was miracle. You know why miracle? Because you couldn't imagine how many cars, how many people were fleeing. So thousands of people, and all these people, they had to stay somewhere. And when people say, Kate, you can come, for me it's like miracle. Oh yes, thank you, I can stay somewhere. And people gave me some food, people gave me some support. So it was like my book, it is not just about pain. My book, it's also about this humanity, about kindness, about love, because I had a lot of love during my road, during my way to Austria. It was very big experience how to be a person during the war, a human during the war. Yes, it's not so easy to be a human when somebody wants to kill you.
And what exactly, break it down, what exactly do you mean by being, about being human when someone's trying to hunt you down?
At first, I saw this example of humanity when people tried to survive. People tried to go away from Kharkiv to leave Kharkiv. And I even saw like people were without petrol. Petrol stations were closed. And some people, they were walking. It was snowing, it was cold, but they were walking. And I saw a woman with a little baby, and she was walking along the motorway with this baby trying to survive. It is catastrophe. It's not like just simple case with bombing. No, it was when I was, we were driving, I looked through the windows and I saw it looked like catastrophe. It looked like the end of the world because people were trying to survive. They were hungry. They were, a lot of people were without houses. A lot of people were without some relatives, even husbands, wives, children even. And they were walking and they were trying to survive, to find a safer place. And humanity, I mean that people, some people, not a lot of people, some people, they tried to give this helping hand. Every time, even they were not in safer place, maybe they were not in the good conditions, but they gave everything to help people around them. And I got this help from people. In Poltava, people gave me some food, clothes, and place for living. In Kropivnitsky, one girl, she gave me a lot of food, she gave me support and etc. But sometimes I met situations when people, no, there are a lot of not good people also. And in this case, I asked the God, what should I do? No, because people, they behave not in a fair way. So I don't understand why they are doing such harm for me. And I asked this question and I got the answer. So, and maybe it would be a little strange to be, but when Christus, when God, I think he would forgive everyone, yes. And I don't say that I'm God, but in this case, I had choice to forgive or to hate, to have this pain and hatred in my heart, or to forgive this person. And I choose, every time I choose, and I chose forgiveness. It's also about my humanity, because I understand that these people, they also have reasons to be like these people, because it is stress, it is pain. They were without husbands, most of women, yes. I don't know what I would do without my husband. And because of that, I tried to forgive. And maybe somebody also forgave me, because I made mistakes also. So this war, it is like example how to survive. For me, it is example how to survive, but also to stay a person, a human.
Okay, I got to backtrack a little bit. So you said you were talking about Donetsk, right?
Mhm.
Donetsk. And you said that you still have family there.
Yes.
Are you before the February. Were you able to call them?
Before February, yes, of course, we were very close.
Were you
Yes.
able to visit them?
Yeah, no.
No, you didn't go to the occupied area, but you were able to call them.
Before occupation, but it was occupied in 2014. Yes, and before, of course, I lived. I lived there.
And
Yeah.
when did you leave?
In Makeivka.
What year did you leave Donetsk?
No, what?
When did you leave to go to Kherson? No, Kharkiv. When did you leave to go there?
To Kharkiv. Because I had my second education, it was teaching, English teaching, and my university was in Kharkiv.
So what year did you go? Did you leave the occupied area to go there?
No, so I don't understand what.
Okay, in 2014 when they took over Donetsk.
Mm-hmm.
When did you leave Donetsk?
I did it even before the occupation. It was.
Oh, okay. So you left before 2014.
Yes, without.
Okay.
Yes,
and then you went to Kharkiv.
Yes, but when I came to Kharkiv and I started living, renting a flat, and etc., it happened, and I wanted to come back, but I couldn't. Yes, I was lucky in this case. Yes, with when Donetsk was occupied, I was lucky to do that earlier. Yes,
that's what I was wondering.
Yes, but in Kharkiv, I was not so lucky.
So when you were in Kharkiv, when were you under? So you lived there for a little bit under occupation?
No, yes. So no, Kharkiv was not occupied. Sorry, no.
Oh, okay.
It will not be occupied.
Okay, I was confused for a second. So
yes,
then,
no.
okay.
It was attack. They tried to do that. They were trying from different sides. Yes, it was, of course, it was very, very dangerous situation because they were trying to occupy it. But they didn't manage that because Kharkiv is very strong. And it's rather, I want to say that in the world, even Russian people, they say that Kharkiv, it is a place where a lot of Russian, how to say, people who support Russian, yes, yes, and they say that Russia is, no, it's not true. It's just their propaganda. It's not true. Russian, Kharkivian, they support Ukraine. They want to be in Ukraine. They don't want to be in Russian, under Russian. No, it's not true. It is very bad idea to say that Eastern part support Russian. No, don't believe these gossips. So it's not true. Yes, maybe some people they support. The problem is actually we speak, when the war started, we spoke Russian language. Yes, and for me it was challenge to start speaking Ukrainian, to start speaking English because of my situation, and German now. So three languages simultaneously. But I don't want my children to speak Russian. Even I try to speak Ukrainian with them, sometimes Russian, sometimes Ukrainian. So after this, it's rather funny situation. Russian people, they came to Ukraine to save Russian speakers, that people who want to speak Russian, but they can't. And now all these Russian speakers who speak Russian, they don't want to speak Russian at all.
Oh, that's funny.
Hate Russian language, yes.
Right.
So they wanted to do that for us. But sorry, I will speak Ukrainian. Don't touch me. Don't save me.
That's everybody I've talked to. have said the same thing.
Oh,
No
thank
Russian
you.
anything. No more Russian any. If it says it was made in Russia, not buying it. It's no Russian, no talking Russian,
No
no
films,
talking
no
to
songs.
anybody in Russia. They'll never like them. It's done.
No, but it's very funny. Before the war, we loved it. So they did. So now I think that they made mistake with it. No, maybe not they. I think that one man, he made mistake.
He made a big mistake.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So 3-4 weeks before February 24th, what was it like for you?
It was great because I was successful. I was running my business. I performed on the stage because I have books and I spoke about my books. I was so happy to inspire people, to motivate them. I had a lot of photo sessions. My children were happy going to schools. We were thinking about our future, our summer holidays. So maybe it was our peak of success because we managed to buy our own flat. We had a car, we had business, so everything was right. And it's just one moment which was very sad for me. 2 weeks, no, 2 weeks, 2 or 3 months before the war, my grandmother died, and she was like my mother, and I had depression because of that, and I had grief, and they didn't give me to go through this grief, and the war started, and I forgot about everything just to survive. So yeah, in our family life, everything was fine. Yes, it was big success of our life. And it was very sad that now we again started from scratch, again from zero. In Kharkiv, I started from scratch. Now again, I started from scratch. So maybe soon I will be a superwoman who can start from scratch.
You're already a superwoman. You believe
Yes,
that. You've done a lot already you have to take care of your family, and I'm sure you're doing a great job.
I hope so. But it's not so easy. Sometimes I want to stay, to stop, and to have a break from these Russian savers. Yes, and I have a joke sometimes. I was living in Donetsk and they came to me to save me. I was living in Kharkiv and they came to save me. And I said, maybe they're coming here. So
Yeah, no.
because maybe they want to take me from different places. Maybe I should go to Africa. I don't know. Yes, so I'm fed up. I'm fed up with these savers.
You're fed up with the save us, yes. So when you're, during that time, like I said, the 2-4 weeks prior to February 24th, you obviously knew that there was a buildup in Belarus. Russians were bringing people there, and all their military equipment. Did that have any effect in your thoughts prior to February 24th?
Sorry, again, the last question.
Okay, so
I wanted
when Russia was bringing their soldiers and their equipment to Belarus, for the last month prior to the war, did that concern you?
Oh, I don't know what concerned me. Everything concerned me, and this situation with Belarus and Russia, because when I was staying inside of Ukraine, I couldn't feel safety in any place. And then
No, but before the war.
Before the war, yes, maybe I had some fear. But I don't understand. Everything was obvious. Yes, they were standing, they were waiting, but maybe we believed in better. We believed that maybe it was just a joke, and it was very funny. My performance, I published my book, my third book, and I had performance on Tuesday, and the war started on Thursday.
Oh.
And I remember when I was joking, I need to have my performance. So I hope that the war will not start on Tuesday. I have already invited people. But it was joke. I didn't think seriously that it could happen. I just wanted to believe that these gossips were just gossips. But when the war started, and I remember I asked my husband, Maxim, what is it? So maybe it's just, I misheard something. And he read in telephone and he said, no, it is war. Russian declared war. Yeah, it is not, they declared really war, not special operation. It was war.
The day of the war starting, how did you said you woke up to bombs and missiles?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How long did you stay in Kharkiv before you left there?
I don't, maybe it was 2 or 3 weeks. So I remember, we can count. We were in Romania on the 8th of March.
So just like 2 weeks.
Yes, approximately 2 weeks. But these 2 weeks were for us a long period of time.
Oh, yes. And what was it like being occupied?
One more?
What was it like to be occupied by the Russians?
But I wasn't occupied by Russians.
Oh, you weren't. So the Russians were there yet. You were just getting a lot of problems, and that's what made you.
Why I said that? Sorry, because I want to stress on it, because Russians sometimes wrote that Kharkiv was occupied, and because of that I stop you. I wasn't occupied. I was. It was process of occupation. It was
okay.
danger.
Okay.
Yes.
Very misunderstanding.
Yes, but for me it's important that we couldn't be by Russians, and but you know that a lot of cities in Ukraine, unfortunately, they are occupied. And they were occupied. Some of them now are okay, they are in Ukrainian territory, but they were occupied. And I know, for example, my friend Luda, she is in Podrozdorf now, and her village was occupied. And she said that it was very, very terrible and frightening. And she said that they came, they robbed everything. So it was very bad story. So it's not a good time when you're occupied by Russians. They are like, they do what they want. Yes.
And you said that your parents are no longer, I'm sorry, and that you said your aunt is still occupied?
My mother and my aunt, yes. So they're in Makeyevka now with their families.
And that's an occupied area?
Yes, of course, since 2014.
And are they worried where they are? Are they scared? I guess after all this time, it's just every day though. So do they still get scared?
All this period they were scared and living in this situation. It is terrible. They didn't, now for example, they have problems even with water. So they don't have water and they have to have tickets, special tickets to get water. So the water is bad, electricity is bad, bombing, no, so everything is bad. Yes.
Did you happen to see any atrocities?
What atrocities?
Atrocities? Did you see anything like when you were leaving? Did you see stuff that you didn't want your kids to see?
Oh yeah, maybe we didn't see face to face. We didn't face to some awful things, but my situations when we were going by car, when we saw this. Yes, a lot of destroyed places, people. Even we saw burned cars. Yeah, of course, we saw this, but it is consequences. It is not like in the middle of this attack. But I was lucky not to be inside of very dangerous situations, something like shooting and etc. Thanks God, I didn't get it. But I was, when we were maybe it was Ternopil or near Ternopil, we were staying, and it was attack, and everything was in fire, and we were with my kids, we were sitting in the car, in a big queue of cars. It was also dangerous. So also we tried to find place to sleep because it was impossible to go further. So it was, our road was very long.
And you said with the queue of cars, were you going through checkpoints for Ukraine or were you going through checkpoints from Russia?
No, Ukraine. All
Ukraine.
our way was, we were going to western part.
Okay, so everywhere you got, all the queues and the cars were just to get through the Ukrainian checkpoints.
No, it's not even checkpoints. They were just standing because a lot of cars were standing. A lot of cars, and we even couldn't move further because of these queues.
Oh,
So
traffic, yes.
This traffic was endless. And sometimes we were just standing without moving for 3 hours. With little children inside, and it was very hard.
Oh yes. And your kids now, are they fine? How are they now?
Yes, they're fine. Of course, they're missing Ukraine, especially my daughter Annie. She wants to come back. But left my 2-year-old son, he doesn't understand anything, thanks God. He says something in German language, Ukrainian. Yeah, so it's like mix. Misha, maybe for Misha, it is the most difficult period of time because my son, he's shy and he can't find a lot of friends very easily. And now new language, new country, new school. Yes, and every day he has to wake up at 6 o'clock, and he goes to another city to school, and every day without good communications and friends. Yeah, so they are fine, but I suppose that they would be happier in Ukraine.
And how are you and your husband? And your husband's name is Lev too, right?
No, Maxim. My husband is Maxim.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, we are okay. And every time when something happens, I never say, "Oh my God, what are you doing? I'm so fed up with everything." No, every time I say thank you because we are together. Yes, everything can happen. Everything can be very dreadful and difficult for us. But I'm so happy that we are together. And my children and my husband, so we can support each other, we can help even with just I love you, and this love can help us to go further. Without money, without food, without hope, we are together. It's very
Yes, that's very true. Very true. The Ukrainians are very amazing people, and they're very resilient. It's really amazing what what the Ukrainians are doing and have to go through. Is there anything that you think that everyone should know?
About war or
Oh,
about?
just if there's anything that you want to say to everybody,
No, I want if I can say about the book which I decided to write for this about the war, about my road. So I can say shortly
Do you
about it.
have your book there?
I have my book. It is flying from England to me now. It will be on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So
but yeah.
you'll have to send me the video of that you wanted to show me of your children, that the day, of when everything happened, so that I can add it to the video.
Okay.
And then also I would like to get your links to the 3 books.
Mhm.
Or you said 4 books now.
No,
So,
but I have Ukrainian, 3 books are Ukrainians. And maybe for Americans, it would be interesting to read in English. Yes, the fourth
but
is,
that's okay. You send me the link so I can put it in there, and maybe we can sell a few of them for you.
okay. Maybe
But
they can understand it.
that's right. I
For me,
told you before, I'm doing this for history, and I really do think it's very important that everybody's voice is heard, everybody's family is heard. And I'm sorry that you're starting over for the 3rd time with nothing. It's very difficult, but you're a lovely person. I'm sure your family is very awesome, and it's good that you all have each other.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think that this, do you know the phrase, if something bad happen and you don't give up, you will become just stronger. So I become stronger. I become, I don't know, wiser.
I'm sorry that you had to become so strong.
Yes, yes. I want to have a break from this becoming.
Right. You deserve a break.
Yes, I
You
want
know,
to have a happy life for some period of time without stress, writing my books, sharing my love with people. I really want to share because this war, it is a very bad thing for a lot of people. Any wars are bad for any people, yeah. But on the other hand, this war, this situation which I had to go through, it teaches me a lot of things every time, and it taught me. And I want to show to a lot of people, American, European people, and other people in the world, that life is a very valuable thing for us, that we shouldn't waste our life. We shouldn't waste our time on the earth, because now it's okay. You are living in this beautiful place, yes, and everything is quiet, everything is fine. So keep it. Try to get pleasure from this moment, get pleasure from everything what you have with your family, with your friends. Get as much as you can while you are having that and you are living in this moment, because this war showed me that this beautiful time can finish very sharply and you will have nothing. But at this moment of time, you are happy really. And I want to write about it in my book. I want to speak about it to people. I want to motivate people to be more active during their life, to get whatever they get from the God, because God loves us and he wants to give as much as we want. And when people, they just leave, wait for a beautiful moment, but this moment is here. Life is here, yes. And you should live happily now. And it is very funny, but while we were traveling, even in very difficult situation, I went to bed and I said, thank you. And I found 10 points, maybe even more points of beautiful, happy moments. Yes, I had very bad moments during the road, but happy moments were more. And I want to say that now, and a lot of people, they're in safe, and it's very good. No earthquakes, no wars in your place. So you must be maybe more grateful, doing a lot of things with your life, with people around you. So I want to say about it to the world. Be happy at this
No,
moment.
it's important, right? And if the war ended tomorrow, would you go back to Ukraine?
Yes, but I don't know when it will happen, and I'm not sure that I will do that after the war. Maybe I need some time because of my children. I want them to get education, to be in safe, to do what they can do. But in the country where it is everything broken and it is dangerous, so maybe a bit later.
I can't tell you enough for telling us your story and telling us the story of your family and what you had to go through. Again, send me everything, okay?
Yes.
Is it okay if I check back on you?
Check back?
Is it? I would like to talk with you again to make sure you're okay.
Okay.
All right, good. Just not even recording, just to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so very much for your time. And again, this is renowned author Katheryna Fedorova.
Fedorova.
Fedorova. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your time. And I'm sorry that you had to relive this experience. And it is very important, and I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
And I will do whatever I can to help Ukraine and her people.
Thank you very much. It's very vital for us and for me, actually.
It's whatever I could do, it needs to be done. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.